That is right. Take a deep breath. 17 days to Election Day. Donald Trump gearing up to speak in Gettysburg today, where he plans to outline his first 100 days in office should he be elected. But the mainstream media is already celebrating a Hillary Clinton victory. So is that premature? Well, here to discuss is our fantastic political panel this morning. Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce, Democratic strategist Brian Benjamin, and Washington Times columnist Madison Gesiotto. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Tammy, I'm going to start with you. We're 17 days out. Is this a blowout or is this Brexit?
Well, I think it's clear it's Brexit at this point. At this point in time for England, they were also, stay was 10 points ahead. Everybody thought that they had what they wanted. And just like scientists, sometimes journalists can just see what they want to see, right? They look for what they want to find and they find it. In this case, declaring this race over, though, is very much an effort to suppress the vote. And yet that's what we've been hearing about Donald Trump, right? Because he wants a fair end and he will accept or not accept the end result based on whether or not it's transparent and fair. But that's supposed to be striking at the heart of our democracy. I'll tell you what really does. It is telling the American people that the situation's over, it's done, your vote doesn't even count. And in fact, our system now relies on opinion polls, that you giving your opinion to someone on the phone is now what your vote is. That, of course, is a lie. It's false, and Americans have to know that this is far from over.
Sure.
We're going to have
opinion polls don't vote. Brian, I see you ready to jump in there, though. Have you declared this vote over?
First of all, I think Hillary's going to win. But the man of opinion polls in the Republican primary, Donald Trump, who spent every debate, every conversation talking about the polls, now all of a sudden doesn't believe in polls. Now all of a sudden the election is rigged.
Well, aren't the polls showing some tightening?
In Ohio, that's it. I mean, first of all, he talked about an expanding map. Hillary is the only one expanding the map. We're in Arizona, we're in Georgia, we're in Texas, and we're winning every swing state except for Ohio. I mean,
he's in Wisconsin. There's other places where he's able to.
Wisconsin. Come on. So the real issue here is that there are 4 million people who already voted. We're at a faster clip in early votes than we were in 2012. Hillary's got four times the staff on the ground. She's got double the cash on hand. He is getting killed by every practical matter, and now he's saying, "Well, I don't know if I'm accepting the results of the poll."
This is what we hear all the time.
Of course.
However, there's this sense, and you hear it if you're talking to grassroots groups or otherwise, that there might be a hidden vote. That there is a hidden vote. We had Governor Huckabee on earlier in the program. This is what he had to say. I want to get you to react to it.
The Trump people recognize that when people are called and polled, they're not necessarily going to say they're for Trump. When people have a camera or microphone stuck in their face, they don't want their cars vandalized. They don't want their houses egged.
Right.
That's what's happening to people who openly support Trump. They get called bigots, homophobes, Islamophobes, xenophobes, some kind of phobe. People are really quiet, but I think we're going to see something very surprising on Election Day.
How big could that vote be?
I think he's 100% correct. It's not over until it's over, and the only poll that I care about and many of the American people care about is the polls on Election Day. I think the mainstream media is showing their bias now more than ever before. I mean, look at the debate on Wednesday. They called Hillary basically the winner before she ever walked on the stage, and I think that's what they're doing in regards to November 8th.
Tammy, we've seen in this cycle multiple times where over the course of 17 days, polls went from 6 to closing that gap. What does Donald Trump have to do?
Well, look, it's so erratic at this point. I think that he just has to keep doing what he's doing. Hillary's going to keep doing what she's doing. The American people we know who these individuals are. And I think that this is why there's such an effort on the left and with the Democrats to suppress the vote, to keep people feeling that this is already a done deal. And that's the only way they can do it, because they can't persuade. Donald Trump's going to do that today, I think, though, when it comes to getting more people out. First 100 days, speech in Gettysburg about the economy and about national security, on to the issues, and that's what people want to hear. That's what they care about in this election.
Tim, I'm a basketball player. If we were ahead, we went into a four corners offense, to run out the clock. But sometimes you're vulnerable when you think you're sitting on a lead. Is Hillary Clinton getting complacent?
No, she's not. We're expanding the map. We're going into deep red states.
But she's not. I mean, Trump's doing 3-4 rallies a day. He's out there.
In places where he's supposed to already have won. He's in North Carolina saying, well, I don't know if I'm a winner or I'm going to lose. I mean, he knows he's going to lose. And the truth of the matter is, if you look at what Hillary's doing, she's expanding the map. Georgia's in play. Texas in play.
Remember, flying is an activity. It's not an accomplishment.
This is not a real close election here. The Republicans need to focus.
We got to go. Last word, real quick.
Okay, so the American people care about the economy. As Tammy said, they care about the issues. We have less men between the prime working ages of 25 to 54 working right now than we did at the end of the Great Depression. 75% that want change. Donald Trump's going to tell them
Ultimately,
how he's going to
people are
make that
feeling it in
change.
their gut, and
Focus
who
on
knows what they
ballot.
do
when
when they
they
actually go
vote,
into the
it's
ballot box.
different than expressing an opinion, and
Hey,
that's where they're making a
I've
mistake.
got husbands telling me, don't tell my wife I'm voting for Donald Trump. I mean, that's not revealed in a lot of polls.
consistent in Republican Democratic primaries.
We shall
That's all
see.
I'm saying.
This debate is going to continue for 17 more days, and then
All of a
probably
sudden it's
afterwards
not-
as well.
not
Tammy,
accurate.
Brian, Madison, thank you.